Howdy, folks. Can everybody hear me okay in the stream? Just give me a shout if I'm coming through 5x5. Let's just have a quick look at the console. I'm a bit low. Up we go. Okay, that should be a little better. AMT, now Andy's maybe time. Yeah, that's it. Well, we're just doing some testing. This is the first time that this particular locomotive unit, it's actually an EMU, has run in this country live, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the 4DD, which has just come in from KR Models, and this is the first time it's hit the track, so we are testing this as we speak. Richard's over by the door with the controller. So good of you to join us. Yeah, sorry about that, Robert. Obviously we get delays, but there you go. The smelly feet train. Absolutely, Ivo. Yes, you know it well. Excuse me. The only double-decker train that I believe we've ever had in the UK. It was an experiment. It was a couple of prototypes, unsuccessful. So they were both scrapped. And this is the first time we've ever seen one of these in model form, and probably the only time. I believe they've been made in kit form before, in brass, but you'd need a degree in mechanics to figure out how to put the thing together, because you need all kinds of rolling tools for the brass and that. Eating lunch, so not answering for 5 minutes. Okay, Timber, enjoy yourself. It'd be interesting to know what you're eating, but we can come back to that. Let's just have a look at who's in the chat. I see Windsor Valley Railroad. Here is the NCE Power Cab.
Oh, I'm going back into code.
Oh, right, okay.
It's going to have to be a CV like value change to put the volume up. So
Okay.
there's no option for it.
Right. Okay.
I will leave you be.
All right. I'll catch you in a bit. Right. It's cold. So Richard's legged it back to the house. Now I have greasy keyboard. Thank you. Black pudding sandwich. Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. As I was saying, a big hello to Liz in the States, March West Junction, Andy, very good day to you. Timber Surf, who's eating lunch. Wolfsex Scenics, Paul. There's Mick, hello Mick. Dino, and Bangor Junction, Carl Braun is here. Delft Junction Pete is here. I've seen Robert already. Very good day to you, Robert. Chuck Schreiber, a very good morning to you. Moneybrook Junction is Mark and Lisa. Hello there, nice to see you. Simon Trains, howdy. The 40 is only double-decker train, but Eurostar is planning to use double-decker trains. Well, I hope they're better than this particular unit in success. You know, I wish them every success with doing that, but our loading gauge means that there's not going to be a lot of room. So compromises are going to have to be made. Maura King, a very good day to you. Anthony Dodge, Superman Anthony, great to see you. Something new for me, as I was up in the attic playing trains, had to turn all the sound off because I couldn't hear the host. Oh, okay, Robert. Well, this is very encouraging that you're in the loft and doing your thing. Particle Station Charlie, a very good day to you. Yes, that's very encouraging. For a minute there, I thought dear Robert was going to lose his mojo, but this is not the case. Anyway, I'm happy to relate that on our widest track, the 4DD is doing its thing. It was initially a little bit noisy when I ran it round once, and that's all I did. Just before the live stream, I put it on the track, connected it together, which wasn't too difficult. What I did is I did the front 2 units, the back 2 units, and then put the two together on the track, and that seemed to work out. There's some very, very, very fine plastic moulding on these some of these carriages. There's a little tiny bit that goes out that extends off of the back of the carriage, and it is tiny and very, very thin. So yes. Anyway, it seems to be, touch wood, holding it together. This arrived yesterday. There was no fanfare, there was no emails, there was no indication from KR Models it was going to turn up. It's very cold and getting colder. So up here to give them 5 a run. Well, that's good, Robert. I know you don't like the hot weather and you can stand the cold weather. Artie has just joined us. Hello, Artie. Thanks for the show last night. Very interesting to see all the lorries honking away. Sure, HS1 is gauge to burn gauge. Oh, I don't know. There's a little conversation going on there between Simon and Ivo. I'm sure I'll catch up on that later. ANC Railroad is Eric. Hello, Eric. Great to see you. I'm running the 4DD, which has just arrived, which is this green thing behind me. Randall Ellison, hello. Randall, this is and Eric, this is the only double-decker train we've ever had in this country. It was created by Oliver Bullitt, who was one of our leaders of railway goodness in this country. It was unsuccessful. They made a couple of prototypes. It was put into service, and it was very cramped. And it's like they've stepped the seating, so it's a very odd thing. Didn't think this would ever come in model form. It has. KR Models have made it. They don't have a fantastic reputation, but so far, this has come out of the box onto the track and is working fine on my track. I know some people have said, yeah, all the bogies are catching on this and it will never get around a radius 2. And that's probably, that may well be correct without some configuring, filing, cutting, things like that. I think Bullitt tried a turf-powered loco here in Ireland. He did indeed, and it was successful. Not that successful that they built any more of them, but it was successful, and probably more successful than the Bullitt Leader. And I'd love to see a turf-burning loco, but I would like somebody like Bachmann or preferably a Curascale, because they are linked up with Irish Railway Models. They would be the people to do that one. Moneybrook Junction, got to kiss the grandkids here, so I snuck upstairs for the stream. I understand. The convoy got split in two due to be way too long. We only saw the lead trucks. The rest went to the venue. Okay, Artie, understood. Well, I'm very encouraged. The sound on this is, as I understand it, quite low. Second radius is standard for the large regular production steamers. Yes, this appears to be a bit tight on what other people have put on RM Web. So for those of you that look at RM Web, that's sort of a go-to for all the rivet counters. And if there's going to be something wrong with a model, these guys on there will find it. If there's a detail out of place, if there's a moulding line where it shouldn't be, there's enough knowledge on there. I know we knock the rivet counters, but when it comes to accuracy, these people will tell you whether it's accurate or not. So there's been a few, well, should the roof be this colour or that colour? This is in British Railways Southern Malachite-ish green, which was prevalent on the Southern Railway in the UK. And I think you'll agree that's not too noisy. It has stayed on the track. It hasn't jumped the track once, touch wood. Apparently, from what Richard was saying, the sounds are very, very low on it. So that will need some investigation. It's got a horn sound, which is very much like if you're familiar with the Class 205, the thumper, it's got a party farty horn just like that one. But it was very low. The mix was very low. So we're going to have to fart around with the CVs on this. From what I understand, this is a Plux 22 decoder in this machine. Not a 21 pin, a Plux 22. So it's the latest iteration of DCC goodness. Yeah. And there's Dwight Curley. Hello, Dwight. Don't forget, Dwight's on tonight for us in the UK. Digger Evans, good to see you, mate. Shedley Wood, there's Rob. Hello, Rob. From the Shedley Wood Model Railway. Sorry. Doesn't matter. Railroad, it's all the same to me. Sounds like it could be a song. Anyway, let's just have a look at the function list on this. F0 is number plate light. F1 is drive sound. For the people in the States, that's usually F3 or F8. F2 is high horn, F3 is low horn, F4 is buffering up, coupling hook. F5 is a manual brake application when moving or brake dump when stationary. F6, randomized passenger door slams, because it was a slam door unit. F7, compressor. F8, this is a good one. Randomized, oh, hang on, no, toilet pipe discharge. This is good. I'm dying to hear what that sounds like. The sounds of turds hitting track, but it could be. F9, variable speed flange squeal. So this is what you have in the States, where you have a separate board and a speaker under the layout, and the train goes over a little sensor and it creates a flange squeal. With our ones, they're built into the locomotive's chip. F10, dispatch whistle. F11, guards right of way, bell and optional reply. F12, windscreen wipers. F13, auto brake when selected. EP dump, EP brake when deselected. That's EP meaning electro-pneumatic. Toilet pipe, loud farts and diarrhea noises. Yeah, just like when you're making the coffee. That's the coffee, great. How's the diarrhea? What else have we got? Air dump on disposal. Oh, that sounds good. F14. F15 is Spirax valves, that little clicking noise you hear when it's sitting there latent in the station. F16 is Southern Region whistle. F17, third rail arc flashes, because it obviously picked up from the third rail, and you got the shoe sometimes didn't make a brilliant contact, and you would get an arc come across. F18, speed dependent detonators. So that's when there's an emergency. People have put detonators on the track to warn the drivers. F19 is cab light. I should be able to try that. F19. Don't know if it will happen when it's moving though. F19. Option 9. I'm guessing that happens when it comes to a standstill. F20 interior lights. Woo! Let's try it. What would that be? Option 0. And the lights are on in the front carriage. Should be the whole train. So there's obviously some things we're going to have to look at here. Interior lights. Option 0. Off. Option 0. On. So we've just got the front lights in the front of the carriage, in the front carriage at the moment, as you can see right there. What have we got on at the moment? 19. Option 9. Try it again. Option 9. I think that only comes on when it's stationary. Anyway, I'll turn that off because it's quite distracting. Option 0. Right, so that's off. So I watched the video today, Glasgow trains. Oh, interesting. 40D set running nicely by the looks of it. Yes, it is indeed, Rob. So I just went through all the sort of function lights there. DCC fitted, number plate lights, cab lights, interior lights, F3. Yeah, so there it is. I will keep that handy. But from what Richard just tried, the sounds are very, very low, so I doubt if we'll even hear them. BN Ironwood Railroad, a very good day to you. Nice to see you. Andy, ever been on a double-decker train? No, never. No. These particular variety only lasted into the 70s, early 80s, and then were destroyed. So I never got to actually get on one of these trains. They did make it into British Rail Blue in the 80s, but I wasn't in the right part of the country to be a commuter, if you like. And even then, I only would have been 20 about that time. So I didn't even know it was a thing back in the day. It's only recently that everybody's looked through their rose-coloured spectacles and said, "Oh, okay, yeah." Think 2 ends are preserved at the 4DD. Yeah, quite possibly. So there's no excuses to make any detailed differences on the ends, you would think. But you remember, this is KR Models. The box, ladies and gentlemen, comes looking like this. KR Models. And a little picture of what it is on the front. And it wasn't a cheap unit. And I think Richard paid up front 3 years ago when they first started this. Got an Amtrak double-decker coming. Does that count? Well, that's America, and they've got a much bigger loading gauge. Not only are they wider, but they're also a lot taller. All of their tunnels are built to those kind of dimensions. Quite a big box for 2 coaches cars. Yes, well, here's the interior of the box. That's what it looks like. So it's really quite slim. So that's the way they've decided to do it. Instead of do it in 2 packs, they've put it in one elongated box, which that's fair. Nice and slim. No damage to the box. It was fairly well packed. And yeah, all good. So I must say it's just nice to watch the 5 trains running around the 4 track with iTrains keeping it all running, different ends, and always watching to control them. There, you have to keep an eye on it. If the UK do what they've done here, they will fit. They'll fit. But they don't want to follow the lead of the convicts. Look, a good idea is a good idea, no matter where it comes from. That's my take. My eyes are not working. Well, it's early in the morning, Anthony. You know, we're only human after all. I did go on the double decker TGV back in 2010. Ah, okay. But the double decker TGV is probably built with a loading gauge that allows it thoroughly. It'd be interesting to see what the Eurostar looks like with double deckers. Whether they go into this staggered thing like they've done here, where you've got an up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down all the way along. Um, but as you can imagine, sorry for the delay when I came in. Black pudding sandwiches gone. Yum, yum. Okay, glad you enjoyed it, Timber. Um, Now it's just time to bring out the wind. I'll let you struggle with that one. My eyes don't work either. No, it's a glasses job. And for doing the small stuff, I have these here, which help immeasurably. Yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, I can wear a woolly hat and just they're sort of elastic, so I can work. I can see to work. Oh, there's Andy Dobson. Hi, Andy. Nice to see you. I'm running the 4DD today, which is an old Southern unit. They made a couple of prototypes. They went into service just to test them out, and then they were obliterated, scrapped, which is a shame. A piece of our railway history like that should have been preserved better than just preserving two ends. I've just noticed that my '08 shunter has come on all by itself. Ooh, there's ghosts in the works there, Robert. Your new train is growing great, nice and quiet. It is indeed. Yes, there have been some rumblings that it was a bit noisy. But I think we can put that to bed because we've run noisier ones in here. And this one is DCC sound, although the sound is very low apparently. Richard was struggling with it because obviously it's got a startup procedure. And if you can't hear that startup procedure, we're standing there. Well, I was sitting here saying, why isn't it moving? So that was the delay in getting the show going. Okay, Eric's going to go for a shower. Thanks for coming in, Eric. Always a pleasure to see you, mate. And I hope you're well and as well as can be expected. And have a great day. What good is the 101 DMU stopped? I'm waiting for it. It looks like Robert's got a few ghosts in his machine. But and there's Alan Reynolds. Very good day to you down in Dover, Alan. How is it today? It's around about 50 degrees here. The little portable heater is on and pumping away its heat. Yes, I've got to get some more paraffin for that, but I'll do that in the week. This is one for you, Alan, the 4DD unit, which you've probably heard of, but never seen. I don't know, maybe you did see one back in the day, but it was the double-decker EMU unit. There's a fly in here. How dare you? You think I missed it? Wait until he goes to have a pee. Yeah, so I don't know if you've ever seen one of these, Alan. This is the new one from KR Models. They don't have a fantastic reputation, but so far, so good. This one seems to be, look, I'm pointing. This one seems to be running pretty well. The sounds are very low on it, and only the front car lights up. It's got an 8-pin that goes between each of the coaches. very, very similar to what Bachmann have done with theirs. Very, very similar socket plug. So it will probably need a bit of a squeeze and some investigation to find out why the rest of the train and only the first carriage has got the motor in it. So, and obviously it's got the chip in it. There's one chip shared between 4 coaches. Yes, you remember him as a child, class 411 for SEP. Well, this is the double decker. It's called the 4DD, Alan. I don't know if you ever saw one, rode on one. It was a double decker unit. It's the only one we've ever had in the country. Looks like Randall's having fun with coal loads. Yeah, the 4CEP. Yeah, the class 411. There was the class 205, for which I believe there is one in existence still. Maybe even more than one. And of course, now we've got a complete 5-bell unit, which can run on the Southern. I believe it's up to the latest spec. Mora, water from Amazon, £11.99. I gather that's fake water. 4DD, sure, they were on the London to Dartford services only. In that case, if it's London to Dartford, it's doubtful that Alan would have seen it. But it was a Southern unit. It was made, obviously created by Oliver Bunnett. And it was done for commuters. It was a slam door service with this staggered view. If I get out of the way, should be able to see that a little better as it comes past. Yeah, you've got this staggered effect on there. But so far, this is what you would call its running in period. So we're literally running it in live. So, and I think it's superb at the moment. Here's a message to KR models. Well done. It came out of the box. It went onto the track. It's working. It's working fairly quietly. And Captain Static says you have quadruple switch for switching between DCC. What are the 2 spare poles for? It's because I've got 2 tracks, Timber. Obviously, I need different polarity when it's on DC. So because it's got 2 tracks, it's positive and negative times 2. So you've got a quadruple switch over. Plus, if you want DCC as well, then you've got to do 2 tracks worth with 1 feed. So you're putting DCC in and you want to spread that out to 4 poles. There's your quad pole. 2 tracks, 2 pairs of 2. That's why the quad switch. So when I switch back, I've got 2 separate tracks, 4 poles. Plus and minus for the outer loop, plus and minus for the inner loop. And there is another switch here where I can swap them, because one of them, I've got the remote on there, which is the little handheld, fixes to the DC controller with a 6-pin DIN plug, something like that. And I had to take all these things into account. So I will do a little circuit diagram for Mark, which I'll maybe work on a bit later. And yeah, this is all helpful. Used to go transport with my dad. Remember the new EMUs alongside dirty West Country spam cans? Great memories. Yeah, well, you've got the advantage of about however many years, something up to like 5-10 years, and that gave you a foot in the door, which I didn't have. By the time my dad was taking me down to King's Cross to see the trains, I don't recall any being steam. They were literally phased out. 1967, 67 I was 3, so I have no memory of that. Right, sorry for asking. What are you sorry for asking for? Do you have a channel? Oh, right, okay. Right, ladies and gents, let's get down on the track and see what this little beastie looks like. Here we go. Da, 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 da. How's that? That's all right. Okay. We had 41 in the chat with 21 likes. If people would like to hit the like button, I'd be most appreciative. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And there is the 4DD. Don't have a camera, wouldn't know how to do it. It's a learning curve, Maura. We all have to try these things. Not if you don't want to, of course. If you're happy not to produce any content like that, that's fine. But if you do, you just have to go on the same old learning curve that we all do. I think you'll agree that's quite a nice little train. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can hit the horn as it comes around. You presumed I had one. Well, you would have been wrong. This one belongs to Richard, which he's very kindly given me permission for. And that is the extent to which you've got sounds at the moment. Let's see if I can find something else. Air dump. Buffering up, low horn, F3. Let's try that. Here she comes. If you see the farty parpy sounds. And our Canadian brother has joined us. Hello, James. Nice to see you. Nice. Oh, sorry, I went into Bruce Forsyth there for a minute. For those of you who don't know, Bruce Forsyth is a former United Kingdom entertainer, dancer, singer, comedian. That horn sounds like a goose being choked. From what I understand, I would imagine they've probably stolen that horn from the Class 205, which is called the Thumper, because it's got a very similar sounding horn to that. Let's have another listen as it comes around. Here she comes. Try and do it when the mic's pointing the right way. Andy, stick to your day job. I haven't got one. One of the bonuses of being retired. There is no day job. I suppose if I've got an occupation now, it's probably nose picking. But there you go. Yes, I did the $10 challenge and won. Well, that sounds good, James. Mick, I don't drink though. Well, you must drink something, Randall. What I think you're referring to is the fact that you don't drink alcohol. Now, I've completely neglected my coffee, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the coffee. Here's the 4DD. Cheers, everybody. Osmerica Model Railroading gets 10 demerits. Cold coffee. I vote it's lukewarm. To me, that's acceptable. I'd rather do warm coffee than burn my lips. I could do with another coffee, says Rob. Good morning. Good morning. It's Mark. Mark, have you come across any bus wankers just recently? I sincerely hope not. And I hope you're extremely well, yourself and your missus. And here comes the 4DD. Now, Mark, you should know what this is. It's that funky double-decker unit. Yeah, Robert, it does look a bit like the 411. It's just those... all the windows on the side are all a bit skew width. There's a good old English name for you, skew width. Went to pick up orders and look for people I know. You know, that's funny, James. When I ever go to a show, I look around for people that I know and never see anybody. And then people pick me out of the ether like I've been standing next to them all day. I don't know how they do it, but I just, all I can see is a sea of faces. Occasionally I do pick up the odd person, particularly places like Getz, where a lot of us have gathered. But on some of the other big shows, I look at some people and I think, do I know you? Colonel Cottonbelt is Jason. Hello, Jason. Hope you and the family are okay. What you're seeing before you when it comes around, now have a listen to this horn. As it comes around, it's got a really funky sounding horn. Not very loud. So listen carefully. I will only honk this once. That is well funky. This Jason is just a model that's just come out. It's by a company called KR Models, who don't have a fantastic reputation, but they've knocked it out of the park this time. This machine is a 3-rail electric full-size machine called the Bullitt 4DD. It's the only double-decker unit we've ever had in the UK. They made 2 sets of them. They were used. They were very uncomfortable. The idea was dropped and the actual train was scrapped. I've just spotted Eric, Cara and Willie. A very good day to you, Eric. I hope you're well. As I just said to Jason, this is the 4DD unit, which has just come out from KR Models. A few people have picked it apart and said, well, this isn't right and that's not right, and it doesn't run very well and it's very noisy and it will never get around these corners. But as you can see on my layout, it's come up trumps. Forgive the phrase. Oh, I've got a 2 EPB mark. And I've also got a 2 HAL and a 2 Bill, thanks to you. The way the seat in the layout is 4DD, if someone
let rip one on the top would, yeah.
Paul, asphyxiation would be guaranteed on a model like this if somebody emitted wind. Yes, apparently they were very cramped, very uncomfortable, and the idea was consigned to history. Apparently, it's going to be repeated on the Eurostar, so Ivo says. And Ivo, thank you very much for the information. That I will relate that I've just ordered some soothed smoke units and a half a litre of smoke fluid, because after December, soothed smoke units are going to cease production, which is a great shame. But thanks to Ivo for that information. You've probably saved me an arm and a leg. An electric air raid siren, as some German battery-powered units have. That's interesting, Ivo. Mind you, it would make you sit up and take notice. Let's put it that way. The travelling boxcar is now with Jason, Colonel Cottonbell. How about a 4 CEP? Yes, I've got several of them. 4, I think. I've got one in BR Blue. I've got one in BR Blue Grey. I've got one in green. And I've got one in Jaffa Cake livery. And I've also got 2 for... what's the ones without any motors? Come and help me, somebody. It's the 4... bloody hell, I can't remember. The 4... Simon, you're going to have to help me here. What's the 4 CEP without any motors? So a marked ICE, don't ask which version, train set for sale at the train show. Try to talk Jack into buying it. Does it move that slow? Thumbs up, thumb. Thanks, Pete. Dead. Oh, what is the 4 CEP unit called without any power? Anyway, I've got 2 of them. One of them in research colours, and the other one, I can't remember what colours it was in. An EMU without motors is a carriage. Yeah, it pretty much is. It's 4 carriages. Bachmann took the motors out of it, and it's just got the lighting. That's it, and it's just used as 4 carriages. But it's called the 4 EP, something like that. Oh, bloody hell, I can't remember. The 4 TC. Thank you, Simon. I knew you would get there. You see, this is the level of personnel that we have in the chat. Thank you, Simon. Save the day again. Trailer control. How about that? Well, there is actually sounds issuing from this. The sounds of an electric unit, which of course are very low anyway, but it seems to be very low in the mix. So I think the control CVs for the sound need to be upped a bit. Either that, or perhaps we'll look into changing the speaker out for something a little more beefy. Melbourne trains run away from their drivers, engineers. Is that you just giving stick to Melbourne, Artie. I know you're liable to do that, being a Sydney sort of person as you are. The Aussies do have this rivalry, probably the same as you've got in the States and probably the same as you've got between Yorkshire and Lancashire in this country. Just out of interest, are you after anything at the moment, Andy? No, I'm not. Actually, only one thing. A Broadway Limited hybrid brass Hudson C&O unit in yellow. That's the only thing that's on my radar at the moment. Simon Trains, Gliderzug, you call that in Germany, for the non-splittable version. I see. You see, you live and learn something every day. Melbourne used to be nice, but not anymore. There's Artie putting the boot in yet again. Pete's after a winning lottery ticket. Well, I suppose you have to be in it to win it. But I've never been much of a gambler. Sorry, Pete. Looking for 2 Western Pullmans, grey blue. Trying coaches it gets, but no luck. Well, that's funny because a lot of the smaller shows, they tend to show up. So I think you were just a bit unlucky there, Charlie. But I know some of the smaller shows in the north of the country, they tend to show up quite regularly. So we'll have a look at Doncaster when we get up there. Pete, I believe that's in February. Next show, I believe, is next week at the NEC. It's a big show. And I plan to be there. I just don't know if Richard's working or not. So it would be nice to go as a pair. But if Richard's working, I may have to go alone, as they say. But we'll see. And Todd Armstrong, a very good day to you, Todd. A very good morning. This funky unit is the 4DD. It was the UK attempt at making a double-decker train. This is a brand new model that's just come out from a company called KR Models. They don't have a fantastic reputation, but this one, I plugged it in straight out of the box just before the live stream, so that's why there was a little delay. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. And it's performed. It's performed really well. Only the lights work in the front carriage at the moment, so that's going to take some looking at. I'll demonstrate that as it comes around again. Right, lights on, which was function 19. No, it wasn't. It was function 20. Yeah, there's the lights on. Right, so as it comes around, you will see that the lights are now on in the front carriage. But the rest of the train is a drift of lights at the moment, and we don't know why yet. So this is what the lighting looks like. Yes, there is an interior in there, but it's featureless. There's no colouring on any of the seating or anything like that. That's something we may be able to work on. One car the wrong way round. Well, they've done it as a socket and, well, like a male and female plug. So unless there's 2 or 3 of them the wrong way round. That's a possibility, Ivo, that we'll be looking into. But it may be that just one of the pin connectors is just not made it. I was pretty hasty putting this together just before the live stream. It only arrived yesterday evening, so it came as a complete surprise and a wonderful surprise. No damage of any of the models in the box, and as you can see, it's come out straight onto the track and it's working. From KR models, that's the good side of what we can expect. And Gas Class 58, a very good day to you. Hope you're well. Just running in the new KR 4DD. It's been running for about an hour now. So this is its shakedown run. As you can see, we've only got lights in the front carriage, but that gives you an idea of the funky double-decker nature of this. It was more of a ground floor and a mezzanine than 2 floors, particularly the way they staggered it. Doncaster, 7th and 8th of February. Okay, Pete. Put that one in the diary. That was a very good show last year. Really enjoyed that. It was great having Pete and Colin's company. And who else was there? Dino. Dino was there as well. Absolutely fabulous to see the guys and chew some fat. A 1.5 deck train. Yeah, that just about sums it up, Ivo. I think it was, yeah, literally a ground floor and a mezzanine. Yeah, weird setup. I think that's all they could manage on our loading gauge over here, which is pretty slim. But for all its faults, this seems to be running extremely well. It hasn't put a foot wrong, hasn't derailed, touch wood. So yes, I'm quite impressed with it. The sounds need to be upped a bit. I would imagine they've probably set them fairly low, because there's nothing worse than pulling a model out of the box and it screams the house down. But I think they might have overdone it a bit. Yeah, it's becoming all the bridges and tunnels and that kind of thing. Monsville Railway, a very good day to you, Mon. Hope you're well down under. UK loading gauge does not allow full with below the door sill. Yeah, that's true. See here, they went outside the box shape to get the double decks on our system. And our bridges and tunnels were made to UK specs. Oh, that's interesting. Midnight Sunday there. Well, how about that? It's night for you, it's afternoon for us, and it's good morning America and Canada. Didn't realise you were all there until after the show, but yeah, Doncaster was great. Very, very busy. It was busy, but there were some bargains there. Particularly, I picked up the Rocket, which was pretty cheap compared to what you can get it down here. And there were some other goodies that I grabbed while I was there. I think that's where I got the the Great Western 800 there, and that was a whole lot cheaper than it was down south. Yeah, it did have its good bits, Doncaster. It was on Doncaster Racecourse, which is a bit out of town from the station. There was a free bus service, but there wasn't a sign saying pick up your bus, free bus service here. Not that it mattered anyway, because I believe it. Colin picked us up at the station, and he dropped us off, and he bought me a coffee as well. How about that? Thanks, Colin. That's not bad at all. All the wheels seem to be engaged. There doesn't seem to be any rolling or rattling or anything of that nature. Yeah, massive car park at Doncaster. Did you see the Hornby 00 video published last night? I haven't got around to it yet, Ron, but the day is not done for us yet. Something to look at. RGJ Trains just made it. Just dropped off a patient. Well, it's always great to see you, Robin Grace. Thanks for the show last night. It's always a laugh. I'm just debuting the new KR Models 4DD. This is a 4-car EMU. It was the only double-decker train we ever made in the UK. It was unsuccessful. It was cramped. It was sweaty. It was nasty. And after it continued in service, they scrapped it. But this is the only model we have outside of the kit-built variety. And I think KR Models have done a good job. So well done to KR Models for that. Oh, where the bus was leaving from. Yeah, that was really confusing. There's no real main concourse at Doncaster. You usually expect some kind of terminus, but you go out of the station and you appear onto this sort of bridge. You go out onto the road and there's a couple of bus stops and that's it. And it's quite a narrow road. It's not a main road that I would call a main road, you know, like 4 lanes or anything like that. It's just a plain old main road and a couple of bus stops, and that's it. So I was wondering where on earth you picked up the bus from, and that was actually the spot. Motorised in the coach produce isn't that hard. No, it isn't. But then when you ask it to pull 3 extras, that's when the fun starts. They have a bus interchange inside the shopping centre next to the station where the bus to the racecourse is. Well, that completely escaped me, Simon. But luckily, it did stop just outside. I think it was at Doncaster that Colin picked us up. I'm sure of it. I think it was. I'm mixing it up with Crewe. I'm mixing it up with Crewe. Crewe was the place where I got the bus, because you have to make your way to this social club, really. And yeah, it was Crewe. I'm mixing the two up. It wasn't Doncaster at all. And it was Doncaster that Colin picked us up. So I never got the privilege of the bus. All good, Liz. Better late than never. Yeah, so I'm very encouraged by the first running of this here machine. It does seem to be pretty well put together. No parts have come off of it, although there are some very, very fine details on there that you really have to watch out for. So when handling this, you have to treat it with kid gloves. Yes, Mark. The bus back to to Crewe was rather noisy, courtesy of Captain Static. We were being observed from the social club, and Mark took it on himself to insult the observers, which was incredibly funny. Thank you for that, Mark. Here's a Southern Railway 4DD for you. Oh, Charlie's off. Yep, see you down the line there, Charlie. Keep it on the tracks. Who did I steal that from? Oh, Trackside Mike. Thanks for that, Mike. Nothing like a bit of plagiarism, is there? Yeah, RGJ, Rob and Grace, I don't think I ever saw that video because the only social media I do is YouTube. I'm not really on Facebook. Well, I'm not on Facebook or any of the other social media sites, so I don't think I ever got to see that. But I imagine it was probably hilarious. Oh, Liz is going to have to run. Thanks for coming in, Liz. Always a great pleasure to see you. And I'll be looking out for your next video. Keep them coming. Wasn't me. Bus wankers. Now I'm going to ask the question, Rob at Shedley Wood, if you're still here, are you going to be doing a live today? Artie's heading off. Have a good night, Artie. I'll catch up with you next week, mate. And you take it easy, bruv. That noise you heard as you went past was the compressor and the horn. Dwight's giving awesome cherry pie. Ooh, there's a song about that somewhere. I'll be doing my live stream at 3 p.m. Okay, Rob. Right, let's grab the suicide cam and pop you back on there. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, many thanks for coming in. I will love you and leave you there. We'll continue to fart around with the 4DD and see if we can endeavour to get all of the lights going and the sound up to bit. Yeah, I'm encouraged by its performance today. It's run faultlessly for an hour. So It's well running now. Obviously, I haven't run it in reverse. Thanks, Mark. Very kind of you to say so. Um, it is what it is. The 4DD has come up trumps. Maura, thanks for coming in. Must be winter in the shed, Andy. It certainly is, brother. I tell you. When the temperature dips below 50, the hydrometer goes way up. So the moisture in the air gets yeah, quite damp. But yeah, it's all good. It's a bit of fun in a shed. Doesn't hurt anybody that I know of. And yeah, it's a great way to spend a Sunday with some friends and play with some trains and chat. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's just wonderful, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know who that was, but it's come out of the brain somewhere. Anyway, many thanks for coming in, and everybody have a great week. Rob is on in 50 minutes' time at Chedley Wood Model Railway. So pop in there if you are able. Grandpa Rails, I didn't see you in there. I'm sorry I didn't see you before. Grandpa Rails is John Dilly, the number one. John number one. And always great to see you, JD. And however, Dwight is on at 7 p.m. tonight, UK time, which is, I'm not sure what that is, Eastern Standard Time. That's one for the US to fight over. Thanks everybody for coming in, and have a great week. Hasta la vista, baby. Get to the chopper. That comes from the Terminator. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. Get to the chopper. Yeah, love it. That's where that comes from. So 2 p.m. Eastern time. 5 a.m. here. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Mon, but Dwight can only do what he can do. So he's on in the afternoon there, the evening here, and the morning in Australia. It's just the way things work out. Anyway, everybody, have a good time this week, and I'll see you in the streams. And God bless everybody. Take it easy out there, and hopefully we'll adjourn until next week. Might be going to the NEC on the Sunday. Don't know yet. So it may well be that I'll be at the NEC next week. We shall see. If I do the Saturday, then I should be broadcasting on the Sunday. Thanks everybody for coming in, and adios amigos. Later all.